Alrighty, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Top 25 by Damo. So a pretty good week of college football. I mean, we had a bunch of pretty good games, although we had a bunch of almost upsets that didn't happen, including OU down here. We did not look very good, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Okay, so Georgia, who did Georgia play? I can't remember, but they destroyed them. It wasn't close. I think it was like an FCS school. Texas. I guess we did a good job leaving Texas at number two because what we didn't realize is Alabama is fake as hell. Alabama's gonna be moving down. They look like shit. Ohio State's also look pretty bad. Utah. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Let's go ahead and move Ole Miss up to number three. Because they haven't looked bad. They haven't played anybody good yet, so we're not really sure. But Ohio State and Alabama have both had some pretty suspect performances. Ohio State against Akron and Alabama this last week against USF. I mean, maybe Akron and USF are really good. You know, we don't know, but they don't seem to be very good. And they took Alabama and Ohio State to the wire respectively. So not a good sign. Not a good sign. Utah. Can we move Utah up above Alabama or Ohio State? I, in good conscience, can't. I do not think Utah would win those two games. But to be honest, they could totally pull it off. I don't think it's like a. It's not a landslide. Overall, I think they'd play them pretty close. And let's go ahead and leave Ohio State above. Actually, you know what we're going to do? Ohio State and Alabama are not going to be right there. We're going to move Tennessee. Actually, I think let's do this. Let's do Tennessee number three and Ole Miss number four. I think that looks a lot better. Because I think Tennessee would probably win on a neutral field with Ole Miss. And I think, wild to say it, I think the top four teams in the country are all in the SEC. Ole Miss could. I don't think they've played anybody really good yet. So yeah, the same for Tennessee. We haven't really seen it yet. I mean, Texas got a big win at Michigan, so and Georgia's already taken down Clemson. You know, those are two pretty good wins early in the season. I know Michigan's not what they were last year, but they're still Division One, probably one of the better teams in the Big Ten. Same for Clemson. They might not be a top 10 team, but they are definitely one of the better teams in the ACC. Okay, so what do we do with the? I'm not dropping. I'm not dropping Utah. They did nothing to deserve to drop. So we'll leave Ohio State here, and we're gonna move Alabama down here to seven. Uh, Michigan and Oklahoma both moving down. So is Oregon. Oh my God, all three of these teams looked fucking terrible, terrible. Well, Michigan just lost, but they lost to a good team. Oklahoma and Oregon have no excuses for what is going on right now. Also for Oklahoma, this is a total side note. We've got to burn those alternate uniforms. They're the worst things I've ever seen. You might as well come dressed up as Nebraska because that's what it seemed like. And I know it's a reference to the 1950s. I don't give a shit. They looked like shit, and we played like ass. So. You know, if you want to wear cool unis, play good. If you don't want to play good, then come out in our regular Oklahoma Sooner gear. Uh, yeah, Oregon had some cool unis this week too, but well, actually, I didn't like OU's at all. They look like Nebraska, but Oregon's uniforms were pretty cool. Although this isn't about uniforms, and you don't get ranked on your uniforms. So the real question is, oh wait, before we do anything, let's go ahead and have some fun. Let's take Notre Dame and put them anywhere else. Good one, Notre Dame. You fooled everybody into thinking you were a top 10 team. You didn't fool me, though. I had you right there at 25. I was smart enough. Oh, hey, and another fun one we can take off. Colorado, goodbye. We'll see you never, hopefully. Speaking of which, let's go grab Nebraska. Let's go ahead and move them up here. So the real question is, how far are Oregon and OU falling? Same for Michigan. Is Michigan still a top 25 team? They're still top 25 to me. But they're not top 10. Although I don't know, we'll see. They could end up catching some more losses and moving completely out. Penn State also looked pretty mid. Georgia Tech lost. So Georgia Tech, I hope you enjoyed your stay in the rankings because it is gone. Clemson could come up. I know they heck should USF come up? They played pretty well. Iowa State took down Iowa this week. Not bad. Who else down here had some good weeks? NC State got, I think, destroyed by Tennessee. Boise State looked good against Oregon, so maybe Boise State's solid. We don't know if Oregon's just bad or if Boise State's good. Could be either way. South Carolina picked up a win against Kentucky. Arkansas went down to Oklahoma State. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna move. I think Arkansas is a good team, to be honest. Like, I don't think. I know if you watched the game, Oklahoma State and Arkansas both looked pretty bad at some points, but at the same time, I think they're both good football teams. So I think we can go ahead. This feels wrong, but we're going to put Oklahoma State at number 8. And we're going to move Kansas up to number 9. No. Yeah, Kansas up to number 9. Missouri up to number 10. BYU lost this week, right? Let me check the BYU score. BYU football. Yeah, nope, they took down SMU, so they're still 2-0. No reason to take them down. Okay, so we're gonna move Kansas State up. We're gonna move Louisville up. We're gonna move Miami up. North Carolina. What did North Carolina do this week? Didn't catch that game. Took on Minnesota and got a win. You know what? A win's a win. A win is a win. And now for Oklahoma, Oregon, and Penn State. We can go ahead and bring all of you guys down here. And as far as I'm concerned, Oklahoma is about to fall way further down. I know I said wins move you up, losses move you down, but at the same time, there is still, I've got eyes. I can see what's happening in the games. And Oklahoma does not deserve to be a top 10 team. Neither does Oregon. They are not looking like top 10 teams. Granted, I think maybe the gap might be smaller this year. Maybe all the teams are just closer. I don't know if you guys remember 2007, how any team could have beat any other team, and maybe it's one of those years. But I don't think anybody can beat Georgia. I don't think anybody can beat Texas. I don't think anybody can beat Tennessee or probably Ole Miss. Like you're gonna have to bring your A game against those teams. And okay, so we are gonna move Oregon down or Oklahoma down. We're gonna move Oregon down. We are gonna leave Penn State here at about number 15. And to be honest, Kansas State beat Tulane this week. Tulane might fucking beat OU this week. If we come out with the same offense as last week, we're fucked. We are gonna go. We're gonna lose the rest of our games on the schedule, except for Maine. So we have got to get that figured out. Vandy got another win. So Vandy's gonna be moving up. Arizona's gonna be moving up. Oregon, I'd still take Oregon over Vandy. So. And Nebraska looked solid. Nebraska looked solid there against Colorado. LSU's not in my top 25. Boise State is also not in my top 25. Okay. So I think that would make my only team with a loss in the top 25 Clemson and Michigan. But they also both lost to, Georgia and Texas. There's really no, if you lose to the number 1 team in the country, that really doesn't mean much for how you would play against everybody else. And they did move down. But here's what we'll do: since they are the only teams with losses, we'll have them be the last, and we'll go ahead and give Clemson the go ahead on Michigan because Clemson lost to Georgia, and I think I don't believe in quality losses. A loss is a loss, but Georgia is a better loss than Texas, although it's close. I mean, it's not. I think if these two played, it would be a really good game. I think that would be a good game. Vandy in the top 25, moving up. Now, would they beat USC? No. But actually, I think USC was 23, so let's just have them be at 22. Would hate to move those frauds up higher than they need to be. Although by the end of the season, they're going to be looking pretty because their schedule is fucking terrible. They also had a shutout this week. I got to give USC a shout out. They played defense. So good for USC. I really hope we can play them at some point. OU versus USC is a game I need in my life. Ever since Lincoln Riley left, I've needed that game. Although if they win, I definitely don't need that game and will never want to watch it ever again. But Iowa State, top 25. Is there anybody else we should add? Tulane, maybe? If Tulane beats Oklahoma this week, they'll take their spot in the top 25. Um, and here's what I'm worried about for Oklahoma. After Tulane, which played Kansas State very well, and Kansas State's always a good football team. After Tulane, we've got to play Tennessee, then at Auburn, and then I'm pretty sure at Ole Miss, or maybe we play Texas that next week. Either way, though, bro, these are three of my top four teams. I mean, like we're about to get fucking wrecked. I'm not feeling good as an Oklahoma fan right now. Um, we've also got to play Missouri. Missouri, another top 10 team, and Alabama. And I know Alabama looked like shit against USF, but it's still Alabama. They're still going to play good. And they broke it wide open there at the end. I mean, if you were watching the game, you know it was close. You know that USF could have pulled that off. But once Alabama opened it up and scored those last couple of touchdowns, it was over. Because the score on that game might be deceptive. If you weren't watching it, it might not accurately show you what happened. Georgia looked great. Texas looked great. Tennessee looked great. Ole Miss looked great. Ohio State, I didn't see what happened in their game, so I'm just kind of assuming they did okay. Utah looks solid. Yeah, I think this is an okay top 25. Louisville's still doing good. We've got three ACC teams right here, so we'll see if any of them can separate themselves from the pack, maybe enter the top 10. And we're gonna get more matchups between ranked teams here soon. And we got everybody's getting more tests. We've got these first 2-3 weeks of cupcakes, but we got a lot of information this last week. We learned a lot this last week. But once we get into conference play, we're gonna learn a lot more. So I think this is a solid top 25 right now. I mean, I don't see any glaring issues. I know a bunch of these teams looked bad last week, but a win's a win. Better than a loss. And we will see if any of these other teams down here. If there's one of these teams down here that I'm missing on, I don't have time to watch every game. So if there's one of these teams down here that you guys see me missing on, I know TCU, they beat Stanford the other day, and they picked up another good win this week against SMU. South Carolina, maybe. We maybe need to add like a receiving votes category right here, so I can keep track of the teams that I would maybe throw in next week. Syracuse also looked good. Wait, Syracuse took down. Who did Syracuse take down this week? I might need to take someone out of my top 25. Syracuse football. Georgia Tech. Yeah, they took down Georgia Tech. And we already took Georgia Tech down. Okay, so if I was saying who could maybe get in, we're going to put Syracuse up here. Where did they go? We're going to put Syracuse right here. Oh, I guess we can't move. There we go. We're going to put South Carolina over there. Where did South Carolina go? And who was TCU? TCU's looking okay. Boston College. I like Boston College's quarterback. That guy's pretty good. Boise State. Boise State looks solid against Oregon. I know we don't reward losses, but I'm not moving them into the top 25. But if Oregon is a legit top 10 team, they're not. But if they were, Boise State would also be a legit top 25 team. So I don't know. Maybe they are. We'll see. Alrighty. Tulane. I think Tulane is also solid. Am I doing that just to cushion our possible loss? Maybe. And I think that looks pretty solid. Right, we'll go with that. So 1, Georgia, 2, Texas, 3, Tennessee. God, there's way too much orange up here. Ole Miss is number 4, Ohio State 5, Utah 6, Alabama 7, Oklahoma State 8, Kansas 9, Missouri 10, Kansas State at 11, Louisville 12, Miami number 13, North Carolina 14, Penn State 15, BYU 16, Oklahoma 17, Oregon 18, Vandy 19, Arizona 20, and then 21 through 25 are Nebraska, USC, Iowa State, Clemson, and Michigan. And should there be two undefeated teams over Clemson and Michigan? Maybe. We'll see how they do. We might drop them out in favor of like a Syracuse or a South Carolina, TCU. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I like these two teams still. They lost to good teams. They did move down in my polls, so it's not like they're Michigan was way up here. Clemson wasn't way up here, but they were ranked and they moved down after losing to Georgia. But you know what? Pretty much every team from here. No, we'll give Ohio State the benefit of the doubt. Pretty much everyone from here down is going to take an L to Georgia. In my eyes, obviously the game would be played and maybe it would go differently, but Georgia to me would kick the shit out of pretty much every one of these teams. So that's kind of my thought process, and that is going to do it for my top 25. Now let's go take a look at the AP poll again because that was honestly really funny last week. Okay, let's go over here. We'll go to AP poll week 2. I haven't seen it this week. Last week I got a couple of peeks at it on accident, but we are going to get our fresh reaction. Okay, so Georgia number 1, solid. Ohio State or Texas number 2, good. That's right. Ohio State fell down 1 after beating Akron 52-6. Oh, who did they play week 1? Am I tripping? Ohio State. Fair? No, football. Oh my god, I can't spell. Football schedule. They played somebody really close in week 1. Oh no, it was Akron. Oh, okay, no. So maybe I was tripping. Okay, maybe I've underrated Ohio State here. Because I thought the Akron game. I'm pretty sure that Akron game was really close around the second half, second quarter or halftime. Okay, so I'm definitely discounting Ohio State. But that's okay. They're still in the top 5. Okay. Alabama 2-0. Looked Western Kentucky 63-0. That was not. They didn't play. Okay, or I don't know. I don't know what games these are because they did not play Western Kentucky this week. They played USF, and that game was really close. So I don't know what they're doing over here. Ole Miss number 5. Give me Ole Miss over Alabama. Give me Tennessee over Alabama. I think both those teams would whoop up on Alabama right now. Missouri number 6. Tennessee 7. Penn State 8. Oregon 9. Only moved down 2 spots. They looked kind of mid against Idaho. They looked mid against Boise State. So I couldn't in all good conscience put them in my top 10, but if that's what they want to do. Miami, Florida. What's up with the fucking recaps? Why are these all wrong? Every single one of these is wrong. USC took on not LSU. Who did USC play this week? Oh my gosh, it's so frustrating. Why didn't you guys just put the scores there? USC schedule. Oh my gosh, they play Michigan here pretty soon. Utah State, and looks like nothing. Oh, okay, so USC versus Michigan. Okay, that'll be a good matchup. I'm going to go ahead and give USC the win there. Utah. Damn, Utah down at number 12. The disrespect. It's okay, though. They don't have to play any of these teams better than them. So they're just going to keep. They're just going to slowly move up these rankings all season. Oklahoma State, although I think Oklahoma State and Utah play each other pretty soon. That'll also be another good game. And I think these two are going to play in the conference championship. Although, don't rule out Kansas State. They always play good. Oklahoma at number 15 did not move. That is insane. They should put us down. I guess I didn't. Where did I put us? 17, so I guess I can't say much, but I would have moved us down. NIU got fucking ranked? Are you kidding me? Dude, these people are insane. NIU's not good. Fucking Notre Dame is just terrible. God, who are these AP poll voters? Give me a spot. Okay, LSU number 16. That is also a fucking joke. Oh my god, LSU is garbage. Garbage. Michigan 17. I guess you can leave Michigan there. I would put them down around here, around 25. But once again, this isn't one dude making these rankings. It's a bunch of other people all voting together. Notre Dame. Okay, so Notre Dame still ranked higher than NIU, even though they got the shit kicked out of them by NIU this week. So Notre Dame still continues to be overrated. I don't know why. The poll inertia, that means like they started at 5, so people think they can't just take them all the way out. From what I saw, you can take Notre Dame all the way out. There's no reason to leave Notre Dame in the top 25. Although I guess you could make the argument that maybe Notre Dame has got a super easy schedule, so by the end they'll be like a top 20 team just because they want to play to anybody and they'll have a decent record. But to be honest, if they can't beat Northern Illinois, I'm not sure if they can beat any of those other teams on their terrible ass schedule. So Louisville moved up 3 spots. Arizona at 20. Iowa State 21. Clemson at 22 moved up 3 spots. That's unnecessary. Nebraska moved up. Uh, this website sucks. This website is fucking terrible. Because I don't think Nebraska was ranked last week, right? I mean, am I tripping? And Boston College moved up. Fair enough. I'm not sold on Boston College yet, and they're going to need to see a little bit more, especially now that we know that Florida State win means nothing. And Northern Illinois at number 25, and we got Illinois, Boise State. Illinois, oh my God. Are they ranking Illinois because they think they're Northern Illinois? Oh my God, dude. Take these people's votes away. These people do not deserve to vote anymore. A&M 68. Whoever voted for A&M needs to also get their voting taken away. Boise State, fair enough. Boise State played a top 10 team and took them down to the wire. Memphis 38, Washington 27, Iowa 24. Okay, you guys did rank Iowa State. Kansas 22. Kansas isn't ranked. Okay. Vandy 18. I can get behind that. South Carolina 10. UNLV 7. North Carolina 7. Okay. So I see where they're coming from on some of these. Some of these are just terrible, though. Texas A&M, Notre Dame cannot be up here. Cannot be up here. They're fucking terrible. NIU. I also shout out to NIU. That was a great win this week. And their coach really seems like he deserved it. A bunch of good group of guys. But at the same time, it doesn't matter if you're a good group of guys. This is a top 25. Are you good enough to beat these other teams? I doubt they're beating Boise State. I don't think so. But that's just my opinion. I could be totally wrong. Leave me your thoughts down in the comments on my rankings on the top 25 rankings. That AP top 25 that was terrible. I cannot believe that. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. Also, so you guys can get my head a little bit. I don't want to do a tier list, but I found no better way to rank these teams. I've looked on the internet for a different way to do it. I might have to make my own thing, but that's gonna take a lot of time, and I don't have time in between the weeks. I don't think. Maybe at some point in the season I'll have a day I can set off and just try to make a format to rank the teams. But right now, this is the easiest way to get it done. So this is the path that I went with. I will try to figure out a better way to do it. But to be honest, this isn't terrible. I prefer it wasn't a tier list because it's just kind of not a big fan of the whole tier list content. Although I think I could make a bunch of funny videos with tier lists. But I don't want to lean on tier lists if I don't have to. But yeah, that's going to do it for my rankings. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we will be back next week. Also, I might do another video on my thoughts about OU this week. I'm not going to talk about every team because I don't watch enough of their games to, know every team individually. But, I know pretty much everything about OU. So I might go in and get my thoughts on it, but the main thoughts are burn the jerseys, fire Seth Luttrell, give our backup quarterback a chance, or get him involved because our O line is terrible, and at least that dude can run for his life. At least he can run for his life and maybe make something happen. Jackson Arnold, he probably can run for his life, but the other dude's faster. Mike Hawk is faster. Michael Hawkins, not Mike Hawk, but I like calling him Mike Hawk because it's really funny. Um, but yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on OU. So I might get deeper into it in another video this week, but that's the extent of it. I'm gonna do right now. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys will come back for another one, and we'll catch you later. Oh, also, if you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. I forget to say that sometimes. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you later. Here's to another good week of college football.